Good morning, sunshines, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Mrs. C. I'm Mrs. C, your favorite virtual librarian, here to share another great day of fun, learning, and reading with you. Did you enjoy yesterday's story with KJ? Do you remember what her story was about? That's right. The story was about you can read anywhere. Did you enjoy reading that story with KJ yesterday? I'm glad that you did. Do you remember what letter we're focusing on this week? That's right, sunshines, A. And what sound does the long vowel A make? A. And can you tell me a word that starts with the long A sound? A. Good job, sunshines. And what sound does the short A make? A. And can you give me a word that begins with the short A sound? Apple. Good job, sunshines. You all are growing and learning so well this week. And do you remember the name of our character this week that's sharing all of these great stories? Adventurous Annie, that's right. I wonder where Adventurous Annie is this morning and what she's up to. Do you want to go see what she's up to this morning? Well, you know what to do. I need you to say, "Oh, Annie." Say it again, sunshine. I don't think she heard you. Say, "Oh, Annie." Good morning, Annie. Aren't you looking lovely today? Sunshines, do you remember what Adventurous Annie is all about? That's right. She's all about the letter A, all things A, and she loves taking adventures through different types of books. Have you enjoyed the different type of adventure reading stories that she's taking you through this week? She's picked a lot of great stories this week, hasn't she? Yes, she has. And I believe Adventurous Annie has chosen another great video that talks all about her letter A on today. Do you want to check out today's video with us? Well, sunshines, I need everybody to get up. Feel free to dance and move and groove to today's video. And we'll be right back with today's story. Have fun, sunshines!
Can you make the letter sounds? We can show you how. What letter shall we learn? Let's find out now. Let's learn about the letter A. This is a capital A. This is a lowercase a. You know how the A looks now. Let's make the letter A sound. Yes! A is for ant. A is for apple. A is for astronauts. A is for ace. A is for arrow. A is for anchor. You know some A words now. Let's make the letter A sound. Your turn. A.
Did you enjoy today's video of the day, sunshines? I'm glad that you did. Did you enjoy learning more about the letter A on today? I'm so happy for you. Well, are you ready to read another story that Adventurous Annie chose for us today? Well, let's jump right into today's story. Today, we are going to read the story called Sophie's Shell by Joe Rooks. Are you ready to read with me? Let's read. This is Sophie. Sophie loved learning about the world and was always pondering big questions like, why is the sky blue? Why are the raindrops wet? Where does the sun go at the end of the day? And what are stars made of? Sophie couldn't wait to start school, where she could find out the answers to all her questions. And finally, that day arrived. Sophie was so excited. You see some of the things she has for school. She has her pencils and her paper and her backpack. She's all ready for school. But when she reached the school gates, she felt a wobbly feeling in her tummy. Come meet the class, said Miss Flutterby. But Sophie felt too shy to even say hello, when suddenly, pop! Oh dear, thought Sophie. Her shell fell off and she dropped everything. In art class, Sophie painted a big picture. That's beautiful, said Beatrice. Sophie felt shy, too shy to reply, when pop! Not again, thought Sophie. You know, Sunshine, I don't think Sophie's shell is falling off. I think Sophie is shy and she's popping inside her shell. You think so? Let's find out. At lunchtime, Sophie had all her favorite things. What have you got? Asked Layla. Sophie felt shy, too shy to talk to Layla. Then, pop! Why do I feel so shy? Sophie asked herself from inside her shell. Then a voice replied, sometimes I feel shy too. Sophie wasn't sure where the voice came from, so she peeked out. Want to hear a joke? Said Stanley. Stanley told Sophie so many jokes that their shells shook with giggles. Looks like Sophie found a friend that looks exactly like her, doesn't she? After lunch, it was time for show and tell. William showed the class the gold coin he had found. Lucy told everyone about her special award, and Stanley wanted to tell a joke. Everyone waited, but Stanley didn't say anything. Oh no! Had Stanley forgotten his own joke? Then, pop! Poor Stanley. What happened to Stanley, Sunshines? That's right, he disappeared inside his shell, just like Sophie. Somehow, Sophie felt brave. She knew exactly what to do. She took a deep breath and slowly slid to the front. Sometimes I feel shy too, she said to the class, but having a friend like Stanley is the best remedy ever. Want to hear a joke? Said Stanley with a big smile. So Sunshines, what happened when Sophie decided to go up to the class and tell them that she felt shy too? Did it make Stanley feel a little bit better? Did Stanley come out of his shell? He sure did. What did the big flower say to the little flower? Asked Stanley. We don't know, chanted the class. What did the big flower say to the little flower? What's up, bud? They replied together. Everyone loved the joke and thought they made a great double act. After that, Sophie liked making new friends, but she knew that her shell was always there, just in case she ever needed it. The end. Boys and girls, did you enjoy that story about Sophie and her shell? What was the problem in the story? That's right. Sophie was shy when she went to school. And what kept happening? She kept popping inside of her shell every time somebody asked her something. But who came along to be a friend to Sophie? That's right, Sunshine, Stanley. And Stanley was a snail just like Sophie. Did Stanley get shy in the story? Yes, he did. And did he disappear inside his shell? Great job, Sunshine. And what did Miss Sophie do to help Stanley? She told the class how shy she was. Right. Did she overcome her shyness? Yes, she did. But what was always there just in case she needed it? Her shell. That's right. You know, boys and girls, sometimes we have things that make us feel better when we're shy or when we're scared or when we're afraid. Take KJ, for instance. KJ has a very special friend that she keeps with her at all times, and it helps calm her down, especially when she's in virtual school. And it's her Lammy. Whenever she feels stressed and anxious, she pulls out her Lammy and she holds her Lammy close, and her Lammy helps calm her down. Do you have something that helps to keep you calm when you're shy or when you're afraid? You know, it's okay to have those things, and you should never let anybody make you feel bad about having something that makes you feel comfortable and helps you to calm down. Boys and girls, I'm so glad you enjoyed today's story and that you were listening and you recalled the story very well. Now, let's recap. Do you remember the letter of the day? That's right. The letter of the day is A. And who is our friend that does all things A? Adventurous Annie. And she chose a great story for us. So, do you remember how to write the letter A from yesterday's video? We're going to take our fingers and we're going to come straight down to the side, to the left. Then we're going to come back up and go down to the right. And then we're going to go across in the middle. And that's your letter A. And the letter A makes what sound? A. And sometimes the letter A says its own name, and that is A. Boys and girls, I have some more homework for you. Continue finding words that begin with the letter A sound and continue finding words that have the letter A in them, like the word barn. Barn has the letter A in it. It's spelled B-A-R-N, barn. And the word library has the letter A in it. Can you spell the word library? L-I-B-R-A-R-Y, library. Sunshines, you guys are so smart, and Mrs. C is extremely proud of you. Well, today is the end of our story time, and we can't wait to come back tomorrow to share another great story with you and continue our adventure with Adventurous Annie and her letter A. So until tomorrow, keep reading, Sunshines, and I'll see you the next time. Bye.